Greetings, lovelies and gents. Welcome and a warm welcome to those of you who are returning. Have you ever felt like God just dropped something in your life or in your lap or even in your kitchen that you didn't know that you needed? That's exactly what happened to me. This new outdoor Cameron Stovetop smoker. I didn't even know that this type of cooking was for me and it even existed until I tried it. So I came scurrying up to you all so I can let you know all about this new gadget that I have. Today I'm going to be sharing about this 2-day experience that I had using this new smoker. I ended up cooking some salmon and steaks, and I just want to share how this may be a healthier way to really enjoying some favorite flavors indoor and outdoors. My wheels are always turning. I'm always thinking of ways to literally add some newness to my life. And I ended up talking to such a special lady in my life. She's like a mentor, a mother figure. And I was like, you know what? I love experimenting in my kitchen, even though it comes in waves, literally, where I'm anti-kitchen when it comes to cooking. But for the most part, I stay pretty pumped up about cooking, but it gets pretty tiresome thinking about what meals to cook, how you can enhance the flavor, adding different seasonings to it. And I mentioned something to her that I had a desire to have grilled food, but there are a lot of limitations that come with living in apartments. There are some major benefits that come with that too, but they exclude a lot of the times you being able to grill food. And I love some charcoal grilled food and smoking type of food too. And she mentioned to me that, you can smoke indoors. And I'm like, what? You can smoke indoors? Where? For real? I said, okay. I looked into it. I was like, okay, let me figure this out here. What is it? So she gave me a link on Amazon that I ended up getting a smoker, and I thought that this would be perfect for being able to dodge the weather heat waves that we have, especially like in the summertime. But then when it comes to a health standpoint, I'm always looking for links and ways to boost my health and to add to a healthier, balanced lifestyle. And I'm on a journey, for those of you who may not know, of really being so much more intentional with eating better, eating less processed food, and just having more of a real flavor. In this smoker, it felt like a cleaner and more flavorful alternative to just frying and baking. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't fry at my house, but I do enjoy that deluxe when I go out to dinner. But I do more of baking and other methods at home. So I ended up purchasing this Cameron smoker, and as you can see, I have this set up right here. It's so nice. So this is the stainless steel original small top cooker, and I ended up getting the larger version. They had a couple of versions, a mini, a smoker that ranged between $39 to $49, and they also had the larger one that was from $69 to $79, depending on what website you could go and get that from. I did see that there was a website on Walmart where you could actually get that. So the $69.99 one had 2 of the pint size of the wood chips that were included, and this one had 3. So I like the more the merrier, and I want to experience on those different flavors. So let me turn this around here. So on the back, they have 4 easy steps of how to utilize this with nice colored pictures, because on the pamphlet over here, I noticed that everything was in black and white, and it could be a little difficult to see those pictures. So I was happy to see that they had it on the back with the colors, and then they also had it linked onto the handle with the colors of the easy steps too. So, and I want to add that a lot of the people tend to go for the larger stovetop smoker because they said they wanted more space. They were just so enamored with their experience that they wanted to have a larger one. So I went ahead and got that one. It's pretty heavy. It kind of reminds me of being at a cafeteria style cooking where they have the trays and they have it heated at the top. Take this off. You can just slide the top off here. see that with the handle. So you'll see this is where you put in the circle your wood chips in the middle of there, and see the back, I've already been utilizing it. To help this be more cleaner friendly, they said for the drip tray, they recommended that you put aluminum foil, cover this up, and then with the wired rack, you can spray it, they said, with some type of vegetable oil. I sprayed it with olive oil, which I believe is like a healthier option for me. And then you just flip it and put it on top of this, and you put your meat and you sit it in, voila. Super simple and very easy to use. And you can just slide this back on. Put this right here. They have handles on the side that I really like. It goes like that, and it's easy for you to maneuver and move. And these don't typically get really hot, but I still have my little oven mittens that I had on. And then they have a little handle over here. Put this up where you can see that, and you can just slide it. For day one, I ended up using salmon and the applewood chips for that. Wanted to just set the scene. I have a ceramic glass top flat stove, and I don't have the gas, but they said that that tends to cook a little bit faster. But if you have that flat top stove, that you may have to cook that a little bit longer, your food. The cook time that they advertise is about 30 minutes, but I ended up cooking it for about 42 minutes because I liked mine a lot more, you know, cooked through. I was hoping that I didn't overcook it and dry it out, but for me, the flavor was a very deep smoky taste. It was very delicious. And I'm all for the health benefits of some cooked salmon. For me, I feel like moments like this while I was cooking and even eating this, I just felt God just leading me to just slow down when I had that salmon and just savor this process and know that it's just not just food, but the peace that it brings of trying something new and knowing that it is good for your belly. In day two, I ended up cooking 2 steaks that were grass-fed, some organic cauliflower in real life. And they advertised that they wanted this cooked for 30 minutes, but I cooked it for about 45 minutes. They said in the recipe book that a lot of people had so many questions how to cook steaks, hamburgers, and to have more of that brown, crisp look. They recommended that you could either, after smoking it for about 30 minutes, you can place it on the grill, you can place it in the broiler, or you can saute it on each side for about 4 minutes. And I decided to saute it for a little bit on 4 minutes. And I added the cauliflower near the end of me cooking those steaks on that smoker, put it on the parameter, and it came out perfectly with that hickory smoked flavor. Now the tools that I had running, and I didn't say it with the one prior, is on both days I had my air purifier, which is like a Honeywell HPA 100 air purifier. I had it on turbo. I had the microwave vent fan that's on, and that's located toward the top of my microwave. I do not have an exhaust fan or a hood that is going outside. And I have very minimum smoke irritation. I know on day one, my eyes were burning a little bit, but I also had the windows open on day one because we had rain that came through, so it was a little cooler. And I was just trying my best to manage the airflow and the smell. On day two, I definitely had to close those windows and have the AC on because it was too hot, sweltering hot outside. I did experience putting the Cameron in the middle of the burner. For me, because after watching some of the YouTube people, they were talking about when they used it, they would leave the vent open. They would leave the lid open and allow that smoke to come in. I just wasn't a fan of that. According to the book, they said to close that. I put my burner, because they were saying their houses were so smoky because they let the lid open. My burner goes up to 8 and then high. I put mine literally on 3.5 because they wanted on medium heat. They said low to medium heat, and medium heat is between 3 to 5 for my burner, and that tends to work wonders for me. Minor reactions that I did notice is that there was some slight itching in my hands and in my wrist area, and I know that maybe some possible triggers could have came from, I don't know, the wood chips, or it could have came from the mixed nuts that I also had been eating with some of the dark chocolate and stuff that was in there as well. And I don't know, but the second day I didn't really have major itching or anything that happened with that. This in real life is trial and error. but I'm honestly super impressed. The taste and the convenience is like an air fryer cooking that's leveled up. Home and health benefits of the smoker is a 5-star. Healthier cooking is a must in my place. So being able to use less oil and just having that cleaner flavor. I love the smoky flavor and at least kind of giving me a little bit of that grilling outdoor feel. It's just super satisfying and it reduces the urge for me to overeat because I'm just enjoying this. It's less smoke in the lungs versus traditional grilling, thanks to my air purifier and just me trying to manage this closed space as well. And I want to mention, if you have dealt with some eczema, here's some friendly tips. If you have sensitivities like me, managing an air purifier and that smoke quality is critical. It's crucial. So it could be done with all of these in place. What I want to try next for this, I definitely want to try some hamburgers on this. I'm going to try some hot dogs for sure. And I'm hoping I can get a burnt style hot dog on this smoker. If not, because they said that you can put things on the grill, you can saute things, and you can also put it in the broiler. Next time, definitely for my steaks, I'm gonna do 30 minutes like they suggested versus the 45 minutes because it came out a little bit tougher, and then sauteed on each side for 4 minutes for more tenderness, and then maybe add a little bit extra seasoning, because when I cook it in the cast iron skillet, it's seasoned to perfection, and I season it pretty much the same way that I do, and it didn't seem as flavorful. I had to add a little bit more salt afterwards with the steaks. Salmons were perfect because I kept it on the smoker the entire time. I did not flip it. I did also flip that steak, now that I remembered. And some people are for flipping the steak and some are not for flipping food because they said it reduces the level of the heat for the smoke, and then it can just kind of disrupt things. And I don't know if that just messed with the seasoning too, and then I ended up flipping it in the skillet and seasoning just kind of falling off and wearing off. But in the meantime, it was still very pleasurable and a nice delicacy for my experience. This indoor-outdoor Cameron smoker has been a blessing in disguise. This little tool brought a burst of flavor and health and creativity to my kitchen. I can foresee this gadget being around for a very long time. If you're looking for a healthier way to bring so much more flavor into your meals and keep your meals from being so tedious, this might be worth checking out. Okay, community? If you have ever tried this indoor-outdoor smoker, let me know if you have any tips of better managing the air quality while cooking indoors. Please share it with me. In the meantime, let's live a joyous life with foods that's bursting with many smoky flavors with ease and cheer. Ciao!